so that everything is being recorded and you all gonna have access to the class. So welcome. There are a few of us online. I believe we are supposed to be about 8 people, and maybe there's even more people at this time. But welcome, and I hope you had a good break. For most of you, this is again the beginning of a new term. I'm sure you're all very anxious to find out what are we going to do in this class and what are we going to learn in this class. So I'm really, really happy to be here, and I'm really happy to be teaching this class. And I had the opportunity to build it from scratch. So obviously there's a course outline. There's a course outline that you guys have all received, but we are going to be talking about UX and where UX fits into organizations. But we're going to be spending a lot of time about organizations, understanding what is a business, what is an organization, what are the main components of an organization, and then what is your role within an organization. It's really, really critical because you're in school, you're learning everything about UX, user experience design. How do we do research? How do we do design thinking? How do we do usability testing and IAs and a lot of things that will make you the best of UX specialist. But then you're going to open the big door, and then you're going to come to the real world. You're going to come to a business. And we don't teach a lot of things about businesses. So the fact that Humber has a class that really prepare you to know businesses and know what to know so that you're successful is so lucky that you have a class dedicated to learning about businesses. It will make you better. So it's really important that you guys understand UX. But at the end of the day, you're going to come to a big or a small or a startup organization. You're going to work with people, and they don't really know what you do. They don't really care about what you do. But they want to know as a person, and you're going to need to know, what can I do and what should I not do in the business? What should I be paying attention to a business? And that will start from the moment that you're actually interviewing for those businesses. So this is what we're going to be talking about, but we are going to have a lot of discussion, and we're a small group, so this is fun because we're going to be able to have a lot of interaction and a lot of discussion. So we're going to go through a lot of details today. We only have an hour, and it's going to go fast. There's a lot of content. So this week, we have 3 weeks, and we're going to go through the class schedule as well together. But we're going to need the full week, the full 3 hours this week, today and tomorrow, to really set the stage for the class. What are we going to do? We're going to be talking about the assignment. We're going to be talking about multiple things so that we can actually run and go through the semester together as planned, as to a plan. But obviously, sometimes things change. So we are going to run this class as if we're running, and we are going to actually be running a real project. So a real project. So this is as if we were in businesses. So maybe something will change. The one thing that is not going to change is that we are going to get marks, and we're going to have assignments. We're going to have percentages of assignments. What sometime may change is maybe the timing of certain assignments. But obviously, we need to have a schedule. Now we have a plan, but if we as a business, as we are working with our clients, we need to make some changes. Well, these are decisions we're going to make as we go. So I want you to think of this class as this is real life. We are in real life. In fact, we are going to be in real life. We're going to be solving problems. We're going to be solving challenges for a specific business. Now, if you spend a bit of time on Blackboard, you've already seen maybe what the business will be. So there are a bit of discovery. So let's go through some of the content that I have prepared for us for the class. And in terms of agenda, more particularly, how much are we going to be able to fit into an hour? That is a good question, but I do know that we have sufficient content for today and tomorrow for the 2 hours as well. So we're going to do some quick introductions, obviously. We are going to look at what the course overview is, what the course and the logistic around the class, how I even came up to building a class for this particular topic, what I have decided on in choices that I have made, so that you guys understand how did we even get to a critical path, and the assignments that we've chosen as well. So in terms of the learning objectives for this class, which you would have seen in your curriculum or the course outline, is and the learning objectives for today is really be familiar with the course outline. What will be the topics as well that we're going to be discussing in this class? The teams, are we going to work in teams? What are some of the projects? So there's a big project in this course that we will review together. The critical path, assignments, and then what will be the expectations around the project and the company info as well. Maybe the project. When it comes to the project, and when I say the project is the assignment that is worth 50% of the mark, that is where we're actually going to go to a real business and we're going to solve a challenge for them. That's the project. We're going to define that. So we have an idea, we have a client, but some of the details will come from us, will come from you. We are a team. So I'm a professor, I'm a teacher, but I'm supported by a team of expert specialists who are in the 3rd year. So this is not your beginning of your journey. You guys have been in this for quite a bit now. So we are going to be a team. We're going to solve a team, something for our client. We're going to do an overview of organization and UXD. What is the course about? What is this course? I'll share with you what is it that I will not be teaching you, and what am I going to be teaching you? And then how should we run a client status meeting? That is something that this week we should be covering, because as early as next week or the following week, we're going to do a kickoff with our clients, and we need to make sure that we know how do we run the kickoff with the client. So when we meet with the client, it's very different than where we're in class. It's very different than where we are with our colleagues. So for some of you, if some of you are working in businesses, you know what I'm talking about. But there are some things that we are going to need to learn, that we're going to need to do when we actually meet the first time with our client and our customer. So at this point, we have pretty much everybody in the class, so we'll keep going, and we're going to start with the class intro, and I will quickly talk about myself. The goal is not to go in great details about what do I do and then what I have all done, because it's not all about me. It's going to be more about you learning something in this class. But I think knowing about what I have done and why I'm even teaching at Humber, I think will give you a bit of insight as to why I was selected for teaching this class. So my name is Yves Rannou. So Yves, it's a silent S, and I mentioned it because sometimes people will say Yves, but that's okay. You can call me Yves, or you can call me Mr. Yves if you want, or Professor, up to you. So I'm Yves Rannou, and I was born in Quebec. I was born in Quebec, the province of Quebec. So my first language is French. By now you probably noticed that I do have an accent. But I was born in French, and I've learned English as I moved to Toronto. But I did English classes, and I've been in Toronto for a very long time. So my passion is about user and customer and businesses. So my goal is to help businesses to be successful. Now, 20 years ago, I did very similar to what you guys are doing. I did my master's in education, but I focused on learning, and I focused on education, and I focused on software design. At that time, 20 years ago, UX and user experience design was still not very well known. And in fact, we had to defend it, and we even had to fight to have someone from usability or UX into a project teams. Businesses thought it was expensive. Businesses thought it was not needed because they just assumed that the developers and the designer knew everything about good UX and good user experience design. So I did a master at the time in software design, and I focused on UX, and I had to build my own curriculum. So I had a teacher in cognitive science at UFT at OIZ who was already very engaged in psychology, cognitive psychology, human factors. So I did UX design and did UX for about 10 years. I was doing wireframing, IAs, and I was part of teams and bigger teams. And then at one point I became a leader, I became a director, and I was building UX practices. I would say that has followed me for about 20 years of my career. So I've been in the field working as in businesses for more than 20 years. Now, I have been teaching almost full-time since July. So I changed career with COVID. So we all know a lot of things has happened with COVID. I'm one of them that's had to rethink, and I used to be in the travel space. So I used to work at Sunwing. I worked at Sunwing for a few years. I worked at Air Canada Vacation for a very long time too. I've been in the travel space. So I'm sure some of you love to travel. Some of you have traveled. Some of you look forward to be able to travel again. I've gained a lot of experiences in the travel industry, but with the beauty of UX and user-centered design is you can take UX and you can take user-centered design anywhere, in any industry, any profession. The method, the methodology, and the research around it is the same. It's just the industry, it's just the customer, it's just maybe in the businesses. So, and every business is different, and you're gonna learn that. Every business is different. Every time you move business, you feel that you have to relearn. Sometimes you even have to undo. So I've been doing a lot of going to businesses, setting up, building teams, and then letting them get to a place where I felt that it was time for me to go and then move to new challenges. So I worked in multiple industry, I worked in multiple businesses, and then since July, I have been teaching full time. This is my Humber. So I'm new to Humber. That means I'm new to Blackboard. I'm new to Humber, and but I'm not new to UX. I'm obviously not new to organizations. I'm also not new to teaching. Before July, I was teaching. I taught at the Canadian Marketing Association. So I taught there for 5 years part-time as I was working full-time. So again, that said, I've been digital for about 20 years plus. Now, at one point, I wanted to understand what will it take for someone who's a UX under design to be at the table as decision-making, like marketing has a VP of marketing, finance has VP of finance, HR has VPs of HR. But at the time, there was no VP of customer experience. There was no VP of user experience. There was no VP that was, in charge of defining the customer experiences. So I felt that I would probably need to do my MBA to really understand how do we run businesses. So a bit similar to what this course is intended to do is to bring that business. How do you run a business? What makes a business successful? So I've decided to do my MBA so that I can be equipped to bring user experience in the context of business and knowing business and be able to speak the language and then be one of those VP of user experience design or be one of those VP of digital. So as the VP of digital that I had in some of my roles, my focus was about user experience design. It was bringing user center in our decision as the other VP and be able to influence and be able to have an influence on the businesses. That's how I've managed to be able to become a leader and a senior leader through UX and through businesses. So it's really, really good that you have this class because you're going to learn not only about being a good UX, but being a good UX in the context of a business and know what to be paying attention to when you get to the business so that you're successful. It's one thing to know how to do UX, but it's very different to how do you conduct yourself in a business and knowing about the business and knowing what you can do about the business, seeking opportunities to really help the business move and move forward is really what anybody can do, not just a UX specialist. But here you're going to learn, as a UX, how can I do that? How can I add value? How can I bring value as well? And how do I adapt to each of the businesses that I go to? So as I said, I worked in the travel industry, I worked in other industries, but UX, what has remained consistent as my career is the customer. The customer is always there. There's always a customer that we need to know. There's always a customer we need to understand. There's always a customer that we need to have solutions for. And then working with other people, working with other colleagues, that never goes away. And if your focus, which I assume is user-centered design and it's about customer, then you've already made that decision and it's a good thing. But you need to now understand how you're going to take this, and you as an individual, how you're going to work through businesses and be successful as an individual. Is as important, if not even more important as well. And you're going to learn why. And before I did my MBA and before I did my Master of Ed with UX as my focus and research, I did my underground in psychology. So what is really, really common about me is psychology, people, organizations, and I've led teams. So I have managed teams of specialists. I have managed teams of experts. I have managed teams. And when I say teams, I have very multidisciplinary teams. So my last role, full-time job, was VP of Digital at Sunwing Vacation. So if you know Sunwing Vacation here in Canada, it's an airline. It's an all-inclusive vacation airline. They own hotels in the Caribbean, and they also own the people that look after the customer at destination. So it's what we call a vertically integrated business. So Sunwing can take care of everything from the moment that you choose or you find Sunwing, can take care of everything to actually deliver the best experience and then follow those customers, deliver the best experiences, follow the customer, and then put everything in place to bring them back to customer and keep them as customer digitally. But there's always a customer. There's always the customer who is in the journey that we're trying to serve. There are the customer stages that we're trying to know who they are and what they are, and we're trying to be there for them when they want us to do. So all of this is UX, but I didn't do that on my own. I did that through teams. I had teams. I had a team of 15 people when I started. When I left, I had a team of about 30 people. So we've merged teams, we've combined expertise, we brought people. So imagine all the change that has gone through that. Imagine the hiring. Imagine the performance reviews. Imagine sometimes having to let go people. Imagine process changes. Imagine sensitivity around certain changes that were happening in the business too. So, and then all of this, you have teams of talent that you need to support. Everybody's different. So I have a team where we're in a class. Everybody in the class is very different. So knowing to adapt to the team, knowing to adapt to the class, knowing to do performance reviews, knowing to adapt my leadership style, knowing the business politics, knowing the culture, knowing what you can and what you cannot do at Sunwing is different than when you work at Rogers. So I work at Sunwing, I work at Rogers, I worked at Flight Center, I worked at Air Canada Vacations, which is part of Air Canada. Big businesses and big entities, but some things are the same in all places that you go. People, process, technology, psychology, consumer central, and then everything around there is to really help the customer. So this class was designed to bring real life. You're going to hear real life. You're going to bring a real example. You're going to hear about things that I have done that worked well for me. But my recipe is not the only recipe. So, but it's one recipe that has worked well. You're going to learn from my recipe. You're going to take the pieces that will work for you very well. And hopefully when you get to businesses, you remember about the recipe and learn your own recipe and then adapt your own recipe to what actually works. So I'm going to be teaching you a framework. I'm going to be teaching you a methodology or things to pay attention to that when you come to real life, you'll have, hopefully you remember, even if it's one thing, even if it's two things, that will help you to be successful in the context of a business. So that's really my mission in this class. Enough about me. So what I'd like to do now, I'd like to have everybody to come forward and maybe introduce yourself quickly. I know I've asked you to do it online as well in the forum, in the class discussion. Class being taught. This is the first semester that we have this course. I know you guys are at year 3, and I think that you have to take this class. But I'd like to hear a little bit about you and then what maybe you expect from this class as well. That would be awesome. And you can take as long as you want, but we have about maybe 13 people that we would like to hear from. So I'm looking for volunteers to come audio. You can also come on the cam if you want. It's really, really up to you. And anybody is welcome, and I actually look forward to hearing from all of you. So do we have someone who would like to come forward? I see someone on cam now. Brett, maybe Brett, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Brett. So I'm a third year student, obviously, and one thing that I would say about myself is I kind of went into UX on like a leap of faith, if you put it. Like I took a year off school, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to go for, and after reading about this program and stuff like that, I kind of went into it not knowing anything. And I'm grateful I did because I ended up falling in love with it. You know, I'm very passionate about what I'm doing and what I'm learning, and I'm just excited for the semester we have together.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Brett, your story. Actually, I think you and I have a similar story. When I 20 years ago or 23 years ago, there was no digital. There was no internet. There was not even email, right? And I was working at Rogers and I was updating content. I was updating content and I got that job because I was French. So I was supporting French update, English updates, and I was actually doing information architecture, but I had no clue that I was actually doing information architecture. And I was just finishing my degree, my undergrad. And then I said, hey, I think I should probably do my master's. So you'll be surprised that a lot of us have come very organically without thinking that this is what will be a career. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it so far. If you're in third year, you've probably been enjoying it.
I do.
And I hope that you will learn something as well from the class for your career. So thank you, and thank you for being so brave. First one to come forward. Awesome. Thank you. Who would like to come next to introduce themselves to the Again, it's audio. You can do audio if you want. You don't have to come on cam, but if you do, that's great. Then I'm not the only one who's looking by myself at a black screen.
Hi,
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very, very good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So one main expectation from this class, I'm just looking to get a lot of good real life experience, transferable skills and knowledge of business. I
Yeah.
actually had to take a business course. So I started this program when I was 20, 22, 23.
Yeah.
So I was already sort of a mature student, and I actually had to go and do a high school business course that they wanted me to take. And I thought to myself, this is a great course, but it has nothing to do with UX, and it's sort of not in the lens of what a UX designer would expect in more of like a
Yeah.
modern scenario. So I'm really hoping that this class sort of adds to my previous knowledge, but also really focuses on, how I can help as a UX designer, as a digital designer. How can I do things that are applicable to the business? So it's pretty cool. I'm
That,
really excited for it.
that's awesome. Well, listen, the only thing I know, except my going to school as you did, uh, is the real business life, right? What is it when you open the big door and you come to businesses? And I'm hoping that I'll be able to teach you things that you don't have to learn on your own, so that you'll be up to speed and you'll be faster, right? But we all have to learn our own experiences sometimes to say, okay. But yes, I'm hoping that you will learn from my experience, and it's only going to be about real life. And actually, this class is about solving a real life challenges, and you're going to have the opportunity to speak to 2 or 3 organizations and businesses and real people that are in the field. And that's why they chose me. So yes, we're going to be solving real things. So thank you. I'm happy to have you in class. Awesome. Thank you for coming forward. So who would like to come next?
Hi, um,
Hi.
I'm Alessandra. I'm
Hi,
actually
Alessandra.
I'm actually a transfer student, so I completed a graphic design program before this one.
Awesome.
So with my knowledge of that, and I had a course for UX, so I like this, and now I'm taking this program to further my education. So I'm excited to see how everything works out and working with real life experiences.
That's perfect. Well, welcome. Yes, I'm well aware that some students were transferring to the UX program. That's great. So welcome to the class. And again, if I can be of any help in class or outside of class, I'll be happy to support. But I'm pretty sure you will see something for you for graphic design, but also for you as a person to businesses. So we all have to work with people into an organization and deal with people and some people at some level. So you will find something. Definitely. Welcome.
Thank you.
Who would like to come forward?
Hello.
Hi, Thomas. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good. So yeah, my name's Thomas, third year student. And I guess I'll just talk about how I got into the program. I didn't really know, like other people, what I wanted to do. And I just kind of saw this course and I was just kind of interested in it. I didn't really know anything about it, and I joined, and then within the first couple of months I really enjoyed it, and now this time I really love what this program's all about. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, welcome. I hope you will feel the thing
I'm
at
sure
the
I
end
will.
of this course. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome. Who would like to come forward? And you guys don't have to. Like, this is not a mandatory thing that we all have to. But whoever wants to come forward and share their experience or expectation, I love to hear, because we are together. We are a team. I'm a teacher, but I'm here facilitating and helping you to go through a process. So who would like to come forward next?
Hi, my name is Samit.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. And so, similar to a couple other people, I didn't really know about UX before coming into this program. So I basically took a chance by signing up for this degree. But in terms of this course, I'm excited. And I have taken some business courses in high school. And I just would love the opportunity to work with real organizations and businesses and see how I can play the role of being a UX designer. And just a little bit more about myself outside of UX. I like photography, I like editing videos. So I think I'm more on the creative side of things because I also enjoy graphic design and I'm learning how to code. That's
awesome. All good skills. I think all of us have something creative, at least if we made a choice to be in this program. Some of us may think that we're super creative and me not as creative. I would think I'm not necessarily that creative, but people will describe me as creative. But I think myself more about getting to a result, adding value, and then finding ways to get there. And usually I'm going to find people that are a lot more creative than me to get to that goal. But it's all good skills, and hopefully you'll be able to connect pieces that you've learned in high school or before for businesses and know now, how do I take my UX knowledge? How do I take what I know as a person and how do I bring that to a business, and how do I make a difference? And how do I connect it to what's important to them? So these are things you're going to hear. So I think you'll be able to connect pieces. But welcome to the class. So now we have Mohammed. You would like to come forward, Mohammed?
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, hi, my name's Mohammed. So I'm a third year student as well, just as Brett and Sarah and Thomas. I guess I'm looking forward to having more of an understanding of like the value of UX in like actual organizations.
Yeah.
And practicing my existing skills in actual organizations, seeing how well UX actually meshes with actual organizations. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Awesome. Well, the good news is we're actually going to go and swim and dive in a real organization.
Okay.
And then you'll have no choice but apply what you've learned and then solve and then learn the dynamic of the organization. This is all of what this class is about. So welcome, and if I don't deliver on this, you let me know, but don't wait to the end. And that's
Okay.
part giving feedback, right? So you're gonna learn, as I said, this is this class is teaching real life in businesses, and we are let's pretend that we all working together for this business that we're going to be solving a challenge for. So we're going to learn about giving feedback. So giving feedback is important. I want to hear feedback at any point from the team, the class. We're going to learn how we do this. But you guys are third year, you're adults, you have ethics, you've been with people, you're not like you were not born yesterday. So on how to deliver some minimum feedback. But I do want to hear from the class. I do want to get emails or course messages about feedback on how things can be improved, because I'm also a learner. Like we all learn every day there's something we learn. And in fact, one of the quality for being a UX is you want to be curious, you want to be up to date, you want to be in the know of what is happening. So I want feedback, but you will apply and you will be in real life. Who else would like to come forward and introduce themselves?
Hello.
Hi, how do I say your name?
You could just call me Drew.
Drew? Nice to meet you, Drew.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too. I hope everyone's doing well. Well, much like the other third-year students, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into when I was starting out with the UX at Humber. But as time went on, I got really interested, and I really like helping out people, just kind of beyond myself. So I was kind of attracted due to that, for that reason. But one expectation I have from this class would probably be learning like UX in terms of bigger organizations, like names such as Google or Nike or Apple, things like that, in terms of a business mindset, and then seeing how those kind of patterns you can use to like help localize businesses or just businesses in general. It would be very interesting to learn.
So you would like to learn more about how other businesses like Google's maybe have implemented or have used UX into their businesses?
Exactly. Like how do they attract so many people to come towards them, you know?
Okay, cool. That's awesome. So to be honest with you, I wasn't necessarily planning on speaking a lot about the other businesses, how they've done, but I can find a way to make it happen. So we are going to be going into a real business, but we can look at these other businesses, but we're going to talk about business types. And then in the business types, we know that Google will fall into a certain business categories. Then maybe we can talk about Google's and what we know of Google's. I have worked a lot with Google's because I used to buy a lot of keywords and paid search in the digital role that I've been in the past. So I know a little bit about the business and what they do. I know a little bit about Amazon's. I know what's similar with those businesses because I worked with them as partners. So you're going to hear about those other big businesses and how they work with UX and digital as well. Good. Who else would like to?
Okay.
Hi, Anne. How are you?
Oh, hi. So I'm An Yuan, but I usually go by Haley.
Haley?
Yeah, so I'm also a transfer student from graphic design.
Yeah.
I graduated from that program, and I initially I was also very interested in sustainability, urban planning, and especially human-centered design. And at first, I didn't really want to go into this program because I thought UX would be something specifically for website or like app design. But then after looking into it more, I feel like the program has a lot of things to offer toward my goals. So yeah, I'm happy I'm here.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And that reminded me of maybe putting emphasis, if I can build on what you just said, Haley, is when I say digital and I say UX, and really, in fact, UX is more than just online and more than digital. And what I have, for those of you that actually associate UX not just to digital, but to the entire customer journey and the customer stages and the customer micro journeys. You're going to hear those terms from me. It's digital, it's online, and it's offline, and you'll be successful if you are a lot more inclusive than just limiting UX to digital. The role where I felt that I was really moving away from digital and be more through the omni-channel and through the customer stages and the customer at a journey and trying to help them and follow them was at Sunwing. And I would say Flight Center or even Rogers. Sunwing, as I said, is the airline. It's the airport experience. It's how you do your web check-in through the kiosk. It's at the hotel when you go to the front desk of the hotel. What is the technology or what is that customer experience? When you need to talk to a rep and you have a complaint or you have an issue at the hotel, what is that experience? So it's all about UX design that I know that you guys have been discussing in design and many other courses in the program. So I'm not just an online guy, I'm a customer centric, and then online is just a one way to actually talk to them. And I see digital as a way to, we're leveraging a technology, but it's with the customer angle. And then we're using technology to do automation and analytics and tracking and data. But at the end of the day, if you have all the analytics and the data and the tracking, but you don't know your customer and you're not solving for their goals, it's pointless. So that is what you will learn in the class, is keeping the customer and then using digital, and maybe sometime you'll be in the store. So for this class, for a project, it's actually a retailer. We're going to do online, but it's a retailer. They have retail stores. And I chose that intentionally so that you guys can also think digital, but think the retail and think the entire customer experience. So awesome. Yes, someone else who came very organically. So that's awesome. Who else would like to come? Rube.
Hi, my name is Ruth, and I'm a third-year student as well. And I am a mature student as well. I started a little bit later.
Awesome.
And what I'm looking forward to this class the most is probably having interaction with like a real client in the industry. So I think that would help a lot right before we start our internships. So I'm really looking forward to that part of the class.
Awesome, great. Well, you will get all of that and probably more. Welcome to the class, Rube. Very, very happy to have you.
Hi.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, my name is Lisa. I'm a third-year student as well. I transferred actually, and I'm from a development program. So when I was in that program, there was like a UX course that I found very interesting, and I didn't plan originally from going from technology to like design. So but I loved the course, and then I discovered the UX. There was a UX program here in Humber, so I went into it, and so I have worked with a business in the development side, but I never have worked with them through a UX. So I'm looking forward to learning through that in this course.
That's awesome. Well, you'll see similarities and differences, right? So the fact that you have development experience then is also a good thing, because you're going to be able to help us, our team, you're going to be our more technical angle or skills to help us with the project that we're going to be involved with. I do know that our client has, our direct clients that we deal with, he's very, very technical. If I compare her to me, he's a lot more technical than I am. But that is a choice that we've made, that I think anybody in UX has made, is to be more about the customer centric. We're not IT expert, but we understand enough about technology to challenge technology when we feel we want to challenge them. But when you focus on the customer and the business and solve the business, the chances that you're going to go wrong are very, very minimal. Welcome to the class. We're happy to have you. Who else would like to come forward?
Hello.
Marcel?
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Not too bad. So I wonder if you can you see me at all?
Yes, yeah. Okay, the second one to come on cam. Awesome.
Yeah, so my name is Marcel. I'm also I also graduated from a graphic design program, and then I ended up coming into here. I pretty much came into UX by accident because I really wanted to like um, I wanted to become like a better designer pretty much overall, and I thought UX would be a great way to help like enhance my like skills. And I plan on like leaving Canada next year, so I'm like I think this would be like a good way to like help put me above like the competition in a way.
If I may ask,
Pardon?
where are you planning on moving or going? Do you know
Oh,
yet?
yeah,
Where?
I want to move to Korea.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's a big change.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Well, good luck with this.
Yeah.
Great. Another one that came very organically as well. But yes, so this class will help you, and this class will help you to know what you need to be aware of for businesses. And I think you are doing this course to differentiate yourself and be more competitive. But I'm hoping that you will find that it will make you even more competitive than what you thought you would anticipate. And I'm telling you, if we, which I'm sure we will be successful, the class projects and the business we're going to work with, having that on your resume will bring you a step forward. So, and with good leaders, good school, good leader, and good clients and good connections on LinkedIn, it will really, really help your chances to succeed. And on that topic, make sure you follow me on LinkedIn. I share my LinkedIn on the class on Blackboard. I put my LinkedIn. Follow, connect, because we are a small community. So I know people, and you may see someone who is connected that you may be interested in. Follow me, I will follow you, and I'll be happy to help you. But our journey starts in the class, but it doesn't mean that it will finish here. So it's just the beginning of it. Who else would like to come forward and introduce themselves?
Hi.
Hello.
My name's Allison. I like everybody else. I came with without knowing exactly what UX was, but I found it very interesting and something that I expect to learn from this class, or would like to learn from this class, is more of how UX is used on the business side of things. That's about it.
Perfect. So yes, this is what we're going to be learning about, is how do we implement, where do we position UX to be successful as a department, as a specialty, but also as individuals. And you will see, you're going to hear all of my UX that I've led. I was I was reporting to different departments. So UX actually can fit anywhere, I would think. It's up to you how you make it successful. I think because UX is customer centric, everybody's touching to the customer, but there are certain areas where you will feel that typically you will see UX. It's either going to be as part of marketing, or really there's going to be a department called digital. You're going to see that, or maybe you're going to be part of IT. You're going to see that you may be part of IT. UX may be part of IT as well. But nowadays, all teams have a tendency to all come together and be very multidisciplinary and work around one product, one set of product. And then you're going to have everybody from all expertises. And that's the trend, and that's the direction that we were actually going at Sunwing. And I actually went through that complete transformation of restructuring digital at Sunwing, and then bringing digital and IT and marketing together, bringing QA, bringing UX, developer, front-end, back-end developer, everybody that you need to be successful. So there was no more of where is digital. It was more about who is a customer, what are our main products, and then designing your teams around products. So you would have buying online, or you would have vacations, you will have flights, you would have hotels, and then you would have teams around a set of products, and then everybody that you need to be successful would work together. So there was no more of these silos. Then you would have me, who would actually be aware of all of what is happening in all of the streams, so that we are all very consistent. And you have leaders that would be across all streams to make sure that we have a consistent experience. But it was no more about IT, digital marketing. It was teams. It was multidisciplinary team and streams working together in a very multidisciplinary fashion, all towards the same business goals. So that would alleviate the need of where is UX. But UX is a part of a bigger team and working towards the same business value. So you're gonna learn some of that as well with me. Thank you, Allison, for sharing with us. Who else would like to come forward? And we all need 5 minutes left. Like, this is how fast this this class is gonna go on a Tuesday afternoon. Would like to come. And again, we don't all have to. Some of you are more shy than others, but I think we probably have a good round. So maybe we need to wrap up for the day. Unbelievable, you see? With there's so much that we can talk in an hour, and then let me. You know the schedule for tomorrow. So tomorrow, let me just go look at Google, my calendar, not to mislead you. So tomorrow is what we consider the lab, and then also the asynchronous session. So tomorrow you don't have to come to the class live, but I will be here on Blackboard. So tomorrow at 2:25, I'm going to be opening up the session. The sessions will be in Blackboard. I will continue very similarly to what I did today. I'm going to be recording the sessions, and then you guys can come and work and attend the first hour. The second hour, hopefully we're going to be able to start do some of the lab. So, but that's going to be the schedule for the entire semester. So you're going to see as we go through the course schedule, I use the concept of hour 1, hour 2, and hour 3. And looks like I'm stuck in here. Technology, come with me. I don't know if you guys are hearing me, but I'm having a Blackboard, I think, challenge. Let's see.